All right, so I'm using the Carolina BioKit's blood drawing and typing kit. This is an excellent kit with a manual and a guide for students to figure out what their blood type is and then kind of make it a blood typing lab or part of a blood lab for a physiology class or a general biology class. I've used it both in college level and in high school level classes. I'm going to show you the procedures. The first thing you do is you make a droplet, putting the proper anti-serum into the proper places. So this is anti-serum A. This is anti-serum B. And then we have our anti-serum D, which is our positive for RH factor. And then the kit does come with a little finger prick that's a spring loaded and does a good job. Of course, there's a lot of kids, the main thing about is make sure that if you have any kids that tend to be a little dizzy or not want to do it, keep that in mindset or have them sit down. In general, most students do fine with it, but every now and then you'll find a kid that's a little queasy around blood. So use caution, have them sit down normally when they prick their little finger. It is a momentary little, sting. It's not nothing too dramatic. All right, so I'm going to open up the alcohol sterile pad, and basically you just kind of wash your finger, and then you take one of these spring-loaded needles. This takes a little bit of force. Everybody's like always a little bit that anticipation, but let's go ahead and do it. It's not nearly ever as bad as you think it's going to be, but nothing to it really. And then, just start. I always encourage the students to kind of keep their finger down and try to pool the blood up. And some people are going to be a little better bleeders than others. It just takes a little bit of time. And try to get a pretty decent little blood. You don't want it to dry. That's one thing I noticed. Some kids put a little streak on and don't get enough of a decent droplet. So I'm going to try to get a decent droplet going. So I'm going to put the droplet right beside it. Don't normally mean to touch my finger with it. It's a little bit. Go ahead and make another droplet. I've already done this quite a few times, so I know that I'm O positive, also from professional blood drawing. So just get another little pool going. Guess I should take more aspirin today. Then we get it pooled up again. Sometimes, I'm usually a bleeder, but not too much today. But anyhow, again, the main thing is usually I like a little bit bigger droplets than this. Then I have them wipe their fingers off. Then they mix it with a stick thoroughly, and then usually they can get a new stick or flip it over. The main thing is if their blood is dry, it kind of sometimes gives the appearance of clumping. So that's why it's better to have a pool of blood. And then let me get a new stick real quick. And then we swirl that around a little bit. And then we just usually wait a minute or two and you'll start to see results. What you're seeing when I kind of rotate back and forth is, generally speaking, is kind of a watery look to it. When you start to see clumping, it becomes a lot more obvious. This was actually the first card that I did, and you can see the clumping is the little the little dots right here that are all kind of formed together. You don't see those dots over here, even though the blood's starting to dry a little bit, or over here. So this is definitely an O positive reading. I had another student that just did it a little bit ago, and this one is clearly a B positive. See how and this is, she really clumped up nicely. See the dark clumping? And then over here it looks like the A is still negative for her. And then here's another student who again had really nice clumping in the positive range. And then the other ones appear to be O positive. So in this particular class of just 3 students and myself, we're looking at 2 O positives and a B positive. Anyway,